Hello and welcome. It's Nick County here with you from Success Dynamics Institute, and we're going to have a fantastic time on this training where I'm going to be teaching you how to run a six-figure business from your iPad, iPhone and laptop in as little as 4 hours a month. So we've got a fantastic session here today, and let's jump right in. The first thing that I need you to do is go ahead and find the question box that comes with the webinar system that we're using here. In order to know that the technology is working just fine, we've already done a sound test a moment ago, but so I know that you guys can hear me. What I'd like to do is just make sure that you can see what's on my screen. You should see a picture of the sound box with a cool, funky background and some questions. Can you hear me? Can you see my screen and introduce yourself? What I'd like you to do is, if you can see that on the screen, type the word C, S-E-E, into the question box for me so that I know that it's okay to move on and the technology is working for us. Beautiful. So a bunch of people hot off as soon as I asked for that. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate that. Fantastic. So it looks like the tech is going to work for us here, which is pretty exciting. Now, I mentioned previously there's a slight, some kind of tech issue going on with the webinar system that we use, and everyone has been registered with the name friend, which, although that's kind of lovely, I'd like to know who I'm talking to. What I'd like you to do, in just a moment, not yet, just a moment, introduce yourself. I want to know your first name and where in the world you are joining us from. Okay, so if it was me, I would say Nick and Katoomba in Australia. So go ahead and do that now. You've got 10 seconds to type your name and where you're from into the question box for me so I can see who we are chatting with tonight. Fantastic. We've got Damon from Sydney, Linda from Morfett Vale, Andrew from Northmead in Australia. We have Cameron on the Sunshine Coast. We have Brian from Geelong, Matt from Byron Bay. So we've got people from all over Australia calling in. Very, very cool. We've got a stack more people on the line. And anyone else lagging along? Jim and Sharon on the Gold Coast. Okay, it's fantastic. So we have loads of people, more people popping their names in. Much appreciated. So you guys can see me. Sorry, you can hear me, you can see my screen, and I know you and you know me. That's pretty exciting. We've got Tony from Sydney who's just joined us. G'day, Tony. We are going to have an awesome time. Now, one more thing. Before I jump into the content that we got here, what I want to know is, what are you most excited about this webinar and the content that I've got for you before I get in and actually run through it. There is so much stuff that I want to get through tonight and today in an hour and a half. I just want to make sure that we absolutely smash this. So given the concept is how to run a six-figure business in that is exciting to you, go ahead and type that into the chat box. Only needs to be 1, 2 or 3 words. I'll give you 10 seconds to do that now. What is the most exciting thing about being on this webinar for you? So, friend says, the possibility that will help promote my new business. Someone else says, nice and simple. Usually I'd be reading out your names by now, but that's not going to happen tonight. Who else have we got here? What is the most exciting thing about the concept of this webinar for you? Systems and opportunities, says another friend. Or it could be the same friend with 3 very, very different interests there. What else we got, guys? I'll give you 3 more seconds to go ahead and type that in. Just 1 word, 2 words. Knowing how to do it in only 4 hours a month. Yeah, that's pretty exciting, isn't it? Because so many people waste so much time in their businesses. I think they are crazy. Automation, to someone else. Yeah, we're going to cover all that stuff and more. So go ahead, keep typing those in. I'm going to launch into the content because I have a lot to cover for you guys. If you've ever been on a webinar with me before, you know London seat. Darren Brown, one of my heroes. If you don't know who he is, you want to go and Google that name. The guy's amazing. Saw that live, ticked it off my bucket list. It's just incredible. Having the time and the cash flow gives you the freedom to live life the way you want to live. So, who am I? If you've never seen me before, this is actually a slightly outdated photo. This is my wife Alex on the left and me on the right. The only difference is I'm significantly more handsome now. I have rippling muscles and no more facial hair. And out of those, the only one that's probably true is I've shaved off the goatee. So that's me and my wonderful wife Alexandra. We've got loads to cover tonight, so let's jump right in. I've got 90 minutes to show you how I went from nearly broke as a struggling acupuncturist, making just $16,000 a year, to what I call lifestyle entrepreneur, which is very much entrepreneurial, but for me, it's not just about making money, it's got to be about having the right lifestyle, yeah? Because making money and working yourself into the ground is just stupid. So how I went from basically nearly broke to lifestyle entrepreneur, making hundreds of thousands of dollars per year doing what I love. I'm also going to show you the only 4 things you need to get right to quickly and easily build a 6 or maybe even 7-figure business, and why if you don't have these 4 things right, you are basically screwed. I'm going to show you how and where I find clients happy to pay me up to $25,000 per year for coaching, and in detail into which mobile apps and software and systems I use to run my business from anywhere in the world. I'll also share with you the exact system that I now use to coach all of my clients in just 3 to 4 hours per month from home, and that frees me to spend the rest of my time with my wife, my daughter Amelia, and our baby boy Zachy, enjoying our lifestyle freedom. And I'll show you how you can potentially add $100,000 or more per year to your income within the next 90 days. Now, that's not something that absolutely everyone can do, but if you're the kind of person who's really interested in doing that and can put the strategies in place that I share with you, that's absolutely achievable for you. And the point of it is so you can get them off, live and work anywhere, and make money doing what you love. So that's what we've got. And I want to make this easy for you. So hang around to the end, and I want you guys to remind me about this actually. So stay until the end and ask for this, okay? If you don't ask, you don't get in life. It's the same on my webinars. I'll give you a copy of the slides that I use in the webinar. So you can take notes if you want to, but you don't have to, because if you hang around, I'll show you where you can get a copy of the slides. Pretty cool. What I want to know before we jump in is think about the way you do business right now. What's the hardest part about the way you do business right now? I'm going to give you 10 seconds to type the answer in, okay? And be candid, I don't have a clue who you are anyway, because your name's coming up as friend, so you can absolutely tell the truth. What is the hardest part about the way that you do business right now? First cab off the rank says finding quality clients. Yes, you probably want to join in a couple of weeks for whichever friend that is, when we do our how to get 7 new high-quality, high-paying clients in the next 17 days without chasing, cold calling, or cheesy sales tactics webinar. I've run that one twice over the past 2 months. It's on the shelf for the next couple of months, but it's really awesome, gets great feedback, so you'll love that one. Next person says, too many hours and losing time with family. Absolutely, that's really painful. Lack of money to promote, yes. Next person says, consistency in getting quality leads. And next person says, difficult to convert clients to online clients for kinesiology. Okay, cool. So lots of different problems in there. The people that have been fast enough. And what happens is if you can't sort these out for yourself, then you end up kind of running in circles, don't you? Because you have to go and sign up for the latest and greatest guru course to get the answers, but of course they don't give you the answers, and they just want to upsell you to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Or maybe you buy into some program and you have to do it all on your own, I've been there. I've done all of that myself over the years. I've spent probably over $100,000 on, way over $100,000 on my education. Probably closer to $200,000 when it comes to coaching, sales, speaking, internet marketing, offline marketing, trafficking. I'm going to give you a rapid overview of my life before I did what I do now. Okay, I'm going to take you right back to 1993. Oh, whoops! I was 13 in 1993, and I, I just started high school. I had no confidence. I had buck teeth. I had braces. That's me and my brother Andrew in the back. He hates that I put him in that photo, or that I showed this photo. I had a flat top haircut like Vanilla Ice. I had glasses. I was misdiagnosed with an eye problem, so I didn't need glasses. I was also misdiagnosed with asthma, so I had a puffer and I didn't need it. So I was doing really well. My dad was in the police force. He was making about $35,000 a year. My mum wasn't working because she'd broken her spine when she was 15 or so, and couldn't really do too much. So I had no looks. My family had no money. And I realised that the only way I was going to get ahead in life is if I learned how to understand people, which is what put me down the path to learning all about mindset and personal development. So as you can see there, I had no looks, I had no money, but I was really, really attractive. Yeah, everyone found me crazy attractive, and I just had girls throwing themselves at me and people stuffing money into my pocket. That's not the kind of thing that happened. It was really didn't get off to a good start in life. It got better though, because I grew up, I went through high school, started uni. 2001, I turned 21, and the day after I turned 21, three very friendly young gentlemen in Parramatta, in the western suburbs of Sydney, decided to put a gun against my head and threatened to pull the trigger. So I was disorder for the next 5 years. Okay, it was a very, very traumatic experience for me. I did manage to graduate uni though, which was cool. And at the end of 2004, I got the opportunity to go to China, Beijing, China, to the largest teaching hospital in China, where I interned over there and got to live out my doctor fantasy, which is pretty cool. And I thought I was going to, change the world and make $1 million as an acupuncturist. So I set up business as an acupuncturist in 2005 after I got back from China. And I did that for quite a few years. For a long time, I'd never actually admit this to people. I never made over $16,000 per year. Shops in an effort to try and solve the PTSD. And luckily, at one of those seminars, out of the roughly 50 that I attended that year, I was chosen as the volunteer subject for a technique that wiped out the post-traumatic stress in under 10 minutes. Okay, so roughly 7 or 8 minutes it took. That blew me away. That's when I realized this is something I run now, which is Success Dynamics Institute. And the next year, 2007, I met my now wonderful wife, Alexandra. So we met in around about October 2007. And 11 months later, September 2008, we were married. And so 11-month courtship, you know, to the day, which is pretty awesome. And we were really excited, you know, ready for our millions to start rolling in. And this, it didn't happen exactly the way we wanted it to, right? So what happened is in 2009, we were saving up for a house deposit, and we moved into a tiny, tiny little studio apartment, you know, just like that whole one room where everything lives in the one room. The studio apartment in Chatswood in the northern suburbs of Sydney. And as you can see here, we've got a little red circle on the roof. I've got that circle because you can't see it super well, but there's a stain on the roof in the corner there. And what that is a possum died and decomposed, and its bodily juices actually soaked into the gyprock in the roof. So it stunk the place out, and we actually couldn't live there anymore. It was terrible. Alexandra was actually pregnant at the time, so she couldn't be in there because it would make her want to be sick. That's where we were. This is what, 5 years ago now, 2009. Yeah, you can see me there. I'm collating the feedback on feedback forms from one of my NLP seminars that I was running at the time. So that's what we were doing in 2009. We weren't making any money. We were really frustrated, and we decided the only logical thing to do is to go and make a baby, which just makes perfect sense, right? When you're under possum stain. Right, okay, that's just come up now. We are on the next slide. I'm not sure why it's taken so long to click over. That's really odd. It should not be happening that way. That kind of sucks. Okay, not really anything I can do about that either. The internet connection's all working fine. There's nothing obvious that's causing that to happen. So I'm just going to roll on, and hopefully it picks up steam as we continue. So you guys are you still seeing the 2009 slide with the red circle on the roof? Or have you got a slide where we've got some text in an ultrasound picture? Yes. And it looks like it's just changed. I've just logged in on a different... Okay, cool. Right, that's really taken quite a long time to change. Thanks for everyone who's letting me know that you got the text coming up in the ultrasound picture. Okay, cool. Okay, so it's taken quite a while to change. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to click over to the next slide. I've talked about this one. We decided to go on holiday and make a baby. I want to see how long it takes to change over. So I've just clicked over to the next slide. Just give me a moment here. Okay, so we're getting a little bit faster now. It's still taking a while, but we're getting there. So Alex and I were really, thanks for your patience, by the way. Alexandra and I were really frustrated. You know, we were both still working jobs that we hated at this point, and you've ever been in this situation where you feel like, you know, you feel like a prisoner in your own life? That's how I felt. And I found myself constantly thinking, there must be a better way, there must be a better way, there must be a better way. But I couldn't figure out what that better way was, and it was driving me absolutely crazy. Yeah, someone says, okay, so it's still on the baby. All right, I'm not sure what's going on here. Give me just a second. I'm going to shut the slides down. Let's see if that fixes any of our problems. Sorry about that, guys, with the tech issues. It's a real pain in the ass, isn't it? I've not had that happen on a webinar before. Give me just a second, and we'll see if we can get that sorted out for you.
You on dial-up. Fantastic. I appreciate the humour. I'm not on dial-up for whoever that was. Thank you very much. Okay. And it's still showing the same thing on the presentation. It looks like we should be okay. Thanks for your patience while I figured that out. Yeah, that was Andrew. Okay. Wonderful. Very funny, Andrew. Good job. So I found myself thinking there must be a better way. You know, I don't know if you've ever felt like that. You feel like a prisoner in your own life. You can't see a way out and just feel completely stuck. That's how I felt. And I've never read this book, but I found this picture. I was always tempted to buy it. It's called My Job Sucks and I Can't Take It Anymore. Help, the Real Life Job Survival Guide. I reckon that applies to any job that anyone has, unless you've got a super fantastic job. You know, it's just working for someone else just sucks. I've never been any good at it. I know there are people who are fantastic at it, but I absolutely hate it. So what I did is I immersed myself in study so that I wouldn't have to work for someone else ever again. And I set goals. You know, I became a really avid studier of marketing and internet marketing in particular, so that I would never be stuck working for another person. And these slides still aren't changing. What's going on? Just let me know what you, okay, so now, what's on your screen right now? Just type that in for me. What can you see on the screen? Studied, okay, cool. Now we got my 7-Minute Mindset logo. So I'm just going to open that slide deck back up again. Still quite a delay coming through there. Okay, what are we going to do about that? Just testing out how long the delay is in moving through the slides. Okay, so now it's down to about 10 seconds after I've changed that. Thanks guys for letting me know what you see on the screen. So I studied, I set goals, and I basically sat down and planned out what I wanted my life to be like. And I found that I could group it into these 3 categories. What I really wanted was leverage, which is that I wanted to be running a business that allowed me to not have to be hands-on all the time, because then I could have the lifestyle. So I knew if I could generate the kind of cash flow that I wanted, then I'd have the time to do whatever I wanted to do and wouldn't have to work all the time. And time plus money equals lifestyle, right? So then I could spend my time doing the kind of things that I want, or playing with my kids, or hanging out on the beach. Because when I set these goals, I was living a lot closer to the beach. And also, I knew I wanted to leave something behind to make the world a better place, and you know, leave a lasting legacy for my children. So it really came down to these 3: leverage, lifestyle, and legacy. When I started coaching people and working with clients all over the world, to my surprise, everyone wanted the same things, right? And it's highly likely that in what I've just described, you'd be pretty happy with the same things. Like if you had a business that allowed you to be more hands-off than hands-on, so that you could go with your lifestyle from being
what I call locked in to being liberated, and you could turn your focus, therefore, from making dollars or making money to making a difference, then that'd just be absolutely fantastic, right? So if you think about that, which of those three do you want most right now? Leverage, lifestyle, or legacy? Like, if you use that as a bit of a scale, where are you in your life? Are you going for leverage, like the time and the cash flow? Or do you have that under control and now you look cool? That's exactly what I coach people to do. And now, some of you know that I've got a couple of different coaching programs. One of them's called LEAP, Lifestyle Entrepreneur Accelerator Program. And the whole point of that program is to help people escape the 9 to 5. I built this around what I wanted originally, and then other people started saying, could you show me how to do that? Because my goals, these were my 3 goals when I first started out: escape the 9 to 5, because I was locked into that and I absolutely hated it. I wanted to be able to work anywhere, so I wasn't tied to any specific location. And I wanted to be able to make money doing what I love. And I think this is, because I came from this place where I was looking for leverage so that I could have the lifestyle and leave a legacy for my family. And I wanted to get out of the rat race, 9 to 5, live and work anywhere and make money doing what I love. It made only sense that that really started to appeal to other people. And people started asking me to show them how to do it. I actually never had the intention of coaching people in how to run a business the way that I do. I was just doing it and didn't realize it'd be so exciting to other people the way that I run my business. So, it's primarily doing mindset training and coaching and stuff like that. And there was such a massive demand for it that I actually just started coaching people. And that's now the core of my business. I still, I've got my book, 7-Minute Mindset, and we do mindset coaching. And we've got a range of products around that. But the thing that really is our core focus these days is this LEAP, the Lifestyle Entrepreneur Accelerator. So we've covered a bunch of stuff. So I just want to check in really quickly. Out of everything that we've talked about, I gave you a quick background on myself, about the leverage, lifestyle, and legacy, the 3 things that you might want, where you are in terms of those. What's been most valuable so far? So just kind of stop and have a quick check-in. Out of everything that we've covered, what's been most valuable so far? I'll give you 10 seconds to go ahead and type that in for me in the question box. Just want to get a rough idea of, what's working really well for you. What's been most valuable so far? Someone says, working under my conditions. Someone else says, viewing the circle of power with the 3 helps. Circle of power, that's pretty cool. I like that. Not called it that before, but I might have to borrow that. The LEAP concept. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, isn't it? So Lifestyle Entrepreneur Accelerator Program is the name of that program. Someone else says it's yours. Yeah, that's right. So it's all about it. Pretty cool. So let's talk about your leap. How big is your leap? Okay. I've got 3 questions for you. Normally these come up one at a time, but because the transitions aren't, the slide deck doesn't want to work for us. Let's just go. I'll guide you one at a time. What I want you to do is grab a piece of paper, and I don't want to know these numbers. Okay, this is for you personally. I want you to write down what your income was last month, how many days off you took last month, and what difference did you make last month. Okay, so what was your income? What was your income last month? Basically, how independent were you? How many days off did you have? What could how much time did you spend doing what you want to do versus what you have to? And what was your impact? What difference did you make in terms of legacy? Okay, I'm just going to give you a couple of seconds to write those down. You don't have to share that with me. I just want you to keep that to yourself. It's really important that you've got a baseline to know where you're starting from. Because now I want you to imagine that it's 12 months in the future. So we've got those three things written down, okay? The amount of money you made last month, how many days off you took, and what kind of a difference you made. It's 12 months in the future. What we're looking to do here is figure out how far you have to leap to get to where you want to go. So what will your perfect monthly income be in 12 months' time? Go ahead and write that number down for yourself. How many days off will you be taking in 12 months' time? And what difference will you make? Now, remember a few slides back, I said I studied a lot and then I set goals. This is the first part of your goal setting for your lifestyle enterprise, okay, your lifestyle business. If you don't set goals, there's no way you're going to get where you want to go. So what's your monthly income going to be? How many days off will you take? And what difference will you make? What I want you to do is take the number for what you want your monthly income to be. So let's say it's $40,000. You want to be making $40,000 a month in 12 months' time. And I want you to subtract your current monthly income. And let's say it's $5,000. Okay, let's say it's $5,000. So that would leave a gap that you need to leap across of $35,000 a month. And that's all I want to know. I want you to type that number in for me right now. What is the gap in terms of your income for monthly income that you need to leap across? Go ahead and type that number in. I'll give you 10 seconds to do that for me right now. So we have $36,000 is the first person's answer, $8,000 for someone else. It's actually kind of interesting to not know who's typing what here. Someone else says 10 grand. Okay, cool. So we've got a $10,000 gap. So far we've got 36,000, 8,000, 10,000. So next we've got 7,000, 35,000. So what I'm saying here, right, is for you to not know what I know, if we take the first person, $36,000, yeah, whatever your number is, someone else says 8.5 or 8,400, someone else says 14,000. For you to not know what I know is costing you, $36,000 a month, every single month, to not know and do what I know and do, right? Or $8,000, or 10, or 7, or 35,000, or 8,400, 14,000, whatever your number is. It's costing you that to not know what I know and do on a daily basis, every single month. Ask yourself, how long are you prepared to let that go on for? If your gap is $10,000 and you let that go on for the next 12,000, the next 12 months, you've left $120,000 just sitting there on the table that could have been in your pocket, because it wouldn't be a goal if you didn't want it. Think about it, right? It's time to just kind of get over whatever the issues are that are in your way. I can show you how to do that and step up and claim those results. So let's look at why you aren't there already. I did a study over around about 18 months on wealth mindset, money mindset, asked a stack of really interesting questions. After I analysed the results, what I found is that there were loads of people, like 80% of people, saying things like this, They were asking questions about what are your biggest fears, what are you worried about, what kind of are you facing. And I had people saying stuff like this: my cash flow's up and down, I've got zero passive income. And deep down, I'm afraid I'm not good enough. Everyone will find out I'm a fraud. If you've got those kind of things going through your mind, you are severely limiting yourself. And what I can tell you is 8 out of 10 of you on the webinar here with me will absolutely have some part of that going on, yeah? Cash flow up and down, zero or close to zero passive income. And the reason that's happening is because you're afraid that you're not good enough and everyone's going to find out, okay? It sucks, but it's the reality that people face. So let's look at the 3 big signs we've got other things to do when we finish here in about an hour's time.
Okay, so this is the slide before the one that I'm currently on. So the three big fears that, the three big signs that your business model is broken is, number one is that you have fear of some type, all right? Whether it's fear of failure, fear of success, fear of rejection. I've heard every fear under the sun from people in the years that I've been doing this. If you have some kind of fear going on, it's severely limiting to you in your ability to run a successful business. Fear is probably the most limiting human emotion. Second is what I call the cash flow roller coaster. Has anyone had that experience where your cash flow is kind of going up and down? Up and down. You know, you do some marketing or something like that, and you bring in a bunch of clients, or even one more client, cash flow goes up for a bit. Then you stop marketing to service those clients, and all of a sudden the income slows down or stops as well. Then you realize that you're going to run out of money, so you start doing a bit more marketing, and then you bring in some more clients, and then you have to service them, so you stop marketing, and you're just on this roller coaster. Yeah, the slides are slowly catching up with us here. So there's fear of failure, success, and rejection. We just talked about cash flow roller coaster. And number three is no passive income. The number of people who, in my survey, told me that they want passive income was ridiculously high, and it's like 5,000 to 10,000 or more is the typical goal that people want in passive income per month. And the next question I asked them in the survey was, how much are you currently making, or what percentage of your income is made up of passive income? And around about 80% of people said 0, which is incredible, because passive income is not that hard to make. Okay, passive income is not that hard to make. So if you don't have any passive income right now, that's really going to be holding you back from the kind of strategies that I'm going to share with you. And what I'll teach you will help you to get more passive income, and to do it, you know, relatively quickly if you apply it the right way. So I asked myself, why do so many people struggle, right? What I discovered is there are only 4 things you need to get right to quickly and easily build a 6 or 7-figure business. And without them, you're pretty much screwed. And here's what they are. You must have the right mindset, the right model, right, the right business model, the right marketing, and the right mentor if you want to make the leap to a 6 or 7-figure business and you want to do it fast. You can literally, you know, kick this goal in 90 days or less if you do it the right way, all right, or be well on the way to. I'm not saying, you know, I'll show you how to make $1 million in 90 days. I don't make stupid claims like that because I don't know your personal level of dedication or your circumstances, right? But what I can tell you is you can be well on the way to a 6 or 7-figure business within 90 days with the right plan and the right systems in place if you have a mentor who can help you get out of your own way, implement the business model that's going to allow you to scale and do those things and get the marketing under control so that you're generating clients and cash flow, and then you'll have the leverage, lifestyle, and legacy that you want. And I cover each of these steps in detail in LEAP, so the Lifestyle Entrepreneur Accelerator program. So let's just check in again really quickly. Just covered a bunch more content there. Waiting for the slides to catch up. Cool. So what's been most valuable so far? Okay, so we've talked about the 4 M's, stack of other stuff. The 3 biggest signs that your business is broken. What's been most valuable out of everything we've covered since we started? Then we're going to jump in showing you guys some systems and some apps and software and other cool things like that. Give you 10 more seconds to go ahead and type that in. What's been most valuable? Just 1, 2, or 3 words. We're ready, set, go. Someone says clarity. Fantastic. And you don't need to type this in, but ask yourself, what is the impact of having that clarity for me in my business? Okay. Next person says fear is a big limiting factor. It absolutely is. You know, I speak all over the place. I'm going to Melbourne again this weekend for another speaking gig. And in those sessions, I help people break through the fears that hold them back in their business. And the results people achieve afterwards is pretty phenomenal. And the fears that come up, interestingly, always the same thing. Always the same thing.
Someone else says, getting out of the employee mindset. Yeah, that's right. We actually dedicated an entire training in LEAP to that not too long ago, about 2 months ago, because most of the people who join that program need to snap out of that mindset. It's a big problem if you try and run a business with the mindset of an employee. Thanks, whichever friend you are, for bringing that one up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys my simple 6-figure system, okay? This is, that's Tony, awesome, thanks Tony. This is the system that I've been using for years, works really, really well, and it puts 6 figures minimum, like, you know, low to high 6 figures in my bank account every single year, okay, since implementing this. Very, very cool. Now, I'm going to talk you through this. Normally, this will come up on the screen step by step, but we're going to have to do it this way and put the whole thing up at the same time. So up the top, all right, this is my 6-figure system. In purple up the top, these are the ways that I generate traffic to my websites with the goal of inviting people to a 2-day workshop. So I do email marketing to my own database, which is probably how a lot of you ended up on the webinar here tonight. I speak at other people's events, and for a lot of you, that's also potentially where we first introduced to each other. And then I have joint venture partners who email their database for me, or I'll do a webinar for them, or I've been interviewed a stack of times, and the end result is always that people end up coming to my workshop. Now, typically, we'll either give 2 free tickets to that workshop, which are valued at just under $2,000 each, or people will buy my book in a bonus package. They'll spend anywhere from $30 to $200 on that, depending on what's in the package. The book's worth $30 though, and so that's $5,503 value, and they get the workshop tickets. We confirm that they're coming to the workshop via email, phone, and SMS. The systems for all of these things. We deliver an outstanding webinar or workshop, usually without tech issues, and then at that workshop, we'll make a life-changing value-packed offer where the value of the offer is at least 10 times the investment. So if we ask someone to invest, you know, $2,000, the value that they get in return is at least $20,000, which makes it a no-brainer. It makes more sense to say yes than no, which means for me, it's high profit, low delivery cost, 95% online. When I do coaching, it's in group coaching. There's a couple of opportunities to work with me one-on-one in my coaching programs, but the majority of it's group coaching. The clients love it. And we run it all from the iPad, iPhone, and laptop. So that's my simple 6-figure system. And remember, you don't need to scramble to write that down, because I'll give you a copy of the to any of the websites that I've mentioned or talked about or promoted, and they'll put their name and email in. Typically, they get something for free and join our email marketing list. Then what we do is provide outstandingly high-value content, including things like webinars like this. You know, we don't charge for these webinars. We just deliver it because it's awesome. And I know at some point down the line, if I, you know, show you guys enough of what we do and how it works, you might want to work with me friend of mine with a big successful business who wants to fill it up for me. So I'm going to run that again. It'd be pretty cool. Automated registrations. The key word here is automated. Okay, I don't actually have to turn up or do anything for this the money, you know, appears in my bank account. It's pretty cool. If you can still hear me, type the word sound in for me, please. Type the word sound in if you can hear me. Okay, cool. So you can still hear me. That's fantastic. Okay. Hopefully this might speed up a little bit now. There's just got a little error thing coming up on the screen saying that there was some network connection issue between my two computers. So let's just click back and click forward. Hey, beautiful. Okay. Let's call it up. Automated list building, automated registrations for our seminars, and automated payments. That's a screenshot of my eWay account, so that, you know, I've just blurred out people's email addresses that goes in the transaction. But you can see, if you look closer, there's like 1997, you know, like 1997, $250, $1,100, 30. That's my book. 30, 275, 500. So we've got a stack of different products and programs that sell online, and this is all automated payments that have come in. And this, I took this screenshot in, I think it was February 2013. As a result, we ended up with seminars. We did marketing right. They're absolutely packed. It's pretty awesome. So, we speak. 2015, I was listed in the top 24 hypnotists in the world, a program called the Hypnosis Event, which is pretty cool. The kind of thing that happens when you get this stuff right, you know. And I've coached and trained people from all of these organisations. You may have seen me talking about that before. And now we do primarily group coaching, 95% online. Run it from my iPad, iPhone, and laptop, and make 6 figures every single year doing this. Very, very cool. So we went from the apartment with the dead possum in the roof to, we've actually just moved from the picture on the right there. That's Alex standing on our 7-story balcony on the Gold Coast in the apartment that we lived in up there, overlooking a beautiful lake, Burleigh Heads Beach in the background. That's where we ended up, from the dead possum roof to rooftop balcony, which is fantastic. And now we're back in our beautiful Canadian log cabin in the Blue Mountains in the west of Sydney. Actually spent the majority of the afternoon putting a trampoline together for my daughter, whilst everyone else I know was at work. So it's the kind of, then I came inside, had some dinner, had a shower, now I'm running a webinar. That's the kind of lifestyle that you can have when you get this stuff right. It's been some time, kids. What you see at the moment is my beautiful daughter, Amelia, up the top, little son, Zaki, down the bottom. Alex and I in Thailand. We go to Thailand every year for the last, I think, 3 or 4 years. 7 weeks in Europe. Actually still got another trip that I won to Thailand up my sleeve that we're probably going to take in roughly October. So the travel just becomes a constant. It's really, really awesome. And I'm going to skip this part because it's just other people saying that I'm good. Some of you might know Derek Boyer, World's Strongest Man. Basically, he says that what I do is awesome. This is Andrew and Darryl Grant, multimillionaire internet business experts, again saying, if you want proven tools from one of the best in the business, we can confidently say, stop searching because Nick is your guy. Yeah. So people like this don't invest in unsolicited like that unless what you offer is pretty fantastic. So in the interest of time, I'm just going to skip through that. I give 10 seconds to answer this question. What would life be like if you had a system like this? Go ahead and type your answer in, okay? I definitely want to know this. Okay, what would life be like? Someone says, awesome. Yeah, that's right, awesome. That is typically my answer when someone says, how are you? Yeah, awesome or fantastic. Think about that for a moment. Someone says, oh, how are you going? I go, yeah, awesome. Because if I stop and think about it, that's how I'm feeling. Everyone else, when I ask people, how are you? They go, oh, yeah, not too bad. It's this kind of thought virus, in my opinion. People go, no, not too bad, No, you don't want to be not too bad, because that just means you're just a little bit bad. You want to be awesome or fantastic, right? Someone else says easy, worryless, lifestyle awesome. Tony says outstanding. Someone says it would be easier, but I probably miss the social work environment. That's a because with the freedom, you can do whatever you want to do. You can spend all your time doing social work if you want to, because you'll have the time and the money to do whatever you want. You won't be locked into it. Yeah? Someone else says freedom and relief. Absolutely. Question for you. If you were to, on a scale of 1 to 10, pick a number, right, where 10 is, this is like robots run everything, yeah, and 1 is you fill every position in your business, right? How automated is your business right now? Go ahead and type your number in. I want to know where you're at, okay? How automated is your business? I showed you my simple 6-figure system. So we've got 2. Come on, guys. There's 1, okay? Give you 10 more seconds. Everyone find the box. Someone says only slightly. Represent that by a number. Only slightly, friend. Someone says 4. That's good. That's better than 1 and 2, so we're getting there. How automated is your business right now out of 10? 3. Okay. So definitely under 5. The highest we've got is 4 so far. So we've got quite a bit of work to do when it comes to automation. Someone else says 2 with a question mark. I'm assuming that's the person who says only a little bit. Okay, cool. So you've got to ask yourself, am I actually ready to take the leap? Am I ready to go from hands-on to hands-off? Because if you're not ready for it, you won't be able to handle it, okay? Someone else says bookings and payments. Fantastic. So your bookings and payments are automated and everything else is manual. If I could describe your world in one word right now, it would probably be manual, you know, hands-on, manual. You've got to actually show up and physically do it, yeah? What we do from hands-on to hands-off. So it's time to draw a line in the sand. What do you want? Do you want hands-on or do you want hands-off? I want you to type one of those 2 words in for me right now, on or off. You have 5 seconds to do this. Type the word on or off in. If we get more ons than off, I'm going to wrap up and go and have a glass of wine. Off, off, off. No one's saying on. Fantastic. So we want hands off, right? You'd be nuts to want to be hands-on all the time in your business. Think about it. It's totally possible to go from being hands-on to hands-off, from locked in to liberated, and from making dollars. You can do this. You just need to know how to make these leaps. So again, I'm going to check in what's been most valuable so far. This is not so much for me as it is for you, because when you self-identify the things that stand out for you, it's easier to take action on them. Okay, so what's been most valuable to you so far out of what we just covered in that section? What's been most valuable? We're about to move into the systems and software and apps section of the training. You guys enjoying this? It gets better and better. Systems and processes. Okay, cool. What's been most valuable so far? 10 more to type that in. Automation. Get a stack of people saying automation. Yep, and going hands off. Awesome, cool. Let's keep rocking. At this point, you know, I said we're going to talk about systems, software, apps, marketing, all that kind of stuff. The question often comes up, you know, but Nick, which software and apps do you use? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I run my business from my iPad, iPhone, and laptop, and exactly which bits of software and which apps I use. Okay. In the past, when I've done this webinar before, I actually used to just bring my iPad up on the screen and scroll through all of these, but then you don't get it in the recording. So I've taken screenshots and I've actually embedded them into the presentation, so it's pretty cool. So we're going to see the software, 6 figures online in my sleep. Now, I don't only sleep, I do a little bit of work. I typically work a couple of hours a day because I like to. So you probably noticed in the marketing, you know, I'll show you how I coach all of my clients in 3 to 4 hours a month. That is 100% true. I do 2 webinars for our LEAP clients a month. We do a LEAP lesson webinar, training, and we do an implementation hour, which usually goes for longer than an hour. So those are an hour to an hour and a half each. And then with our 7-minute mindset mastery program, we do a group mentoring webinar which is question and answers, and I coach everyone on mindset issues, and that takes about an hour to an hour and a half. So in total, it's between 3 and 4 hours a month coaching all of my clients, of which there are many, okay? And that's pretty cool. Then I probably spend another 6 to 10 hours a week working in and business. I've got a schedule and an awesome calendar, but it includes things like go to the gym, hang out in the spa, watch a movie with my wife. Like I went and watched the new Ninja Turtles movie the other day, and which is pretty awesome if you're a Ninja Turtles fan, So I actually, my calendar is kind of work and play, all intermingled. I do a lot of jiu-jitsu training, a lot of weight training, a lot of gardening, stuff like that. So delivery, 3 or 4 hours a month, and working in and on my business about 10 hours a week, okay? Just trying to give you guys a bit of an overview of what you can achieve once you get this stuff right. So I might need to zoom in a little bit on this one. It'll be a little bit hard to see if we don't make it bigger. So let's just see if we can make that larger here. This is the flowchart that I designed. Before I show you guys the actual software that we use in our business here, I want to give you an idea of how some of it fits together, okay? So right up the top, this is we've got flowcharts like this for different processes. And our lead clients will know that I'm a bit of a flowchart nut. I love making things as simple as possible. Right up the top, a client purchases, okay, on or offline. Actually, I can move my mouse around, right? So right at the top here, client purchases. What happens is online, they will go through our shopping cart and CRM system. I'll tell you what we use in a moment. They'll either go through PayPal, which is the transactions are automatically loaded into our accounting software, or they'll pay via credit card and not PayPal. If they pay via credit card, there's a few more steps. To authorize a payment, it goes through our gateway and merchant account. We use a gateway called eWay, merchant account through Bankwest, and they deposit the money into my bank account, okay? Those transactions also automatically go into our accounting software, so it's very easy to do our accounting. The other way that someone might pay is fill out an order form at a speaking gig, all right? So in the past, I actually don't use this one anymore, but when I put this together, we're using a program called Right Signature. It's pretty cool. That's where I can send you a document and you can sign it and send it back to me. Because most people have iPads now, you can do that without needing to pay for that monthly charge. So just eliminate that expense from our business. So we get those contracts, we store those in Dropbox, and we can process those manually via our merchant account. And again, those payments come into my bank account, okay? So we download the transaction history, store it in Dropbox, which is an online file storage system. Our accounting system gets backed up into Dropbox, and my PayPal account gets download the history, back it up in Dropbox. So Dropbox where I store all of my important documents, okay? Now, let's just come down the bottom here. So that's payments, okay? When we make payments, personally, we have all of our mail redirected to a company in Brisbane. And what they do is they'll open all of your mail and scan it and put it into a virtual mailbox. Very, very cool. From there, we go in as if we'll open all of our mail, pay our bills. Most of them are set up automatic anyway, but if we've got some, we'll pay those. And our bills are online, go into a system called Shoeboxed, okay? So if I buy something physical, like if I go to Officeworks and buy some ink or something like that, then I can take a photo of the receipt with an app called Shoeboxed, which connects to an account with a system called shoeboxed.com.au, right? Or we can put all of those receipts into an envelope and actually physically mail it to Shoeboxed, and they'll scan them, keep a digital copy online. It's compliant with the tax office. They will also manually extract the data and put it into a spreadsheet for us so that it's easy for a bookkeeper to work with, okay? And that goes into Shoebox. Again,
download the history into Dropbox, book for an account, they access accounting software, and do all that kind of heavy lifting in the background. I don't have to do anything. It's pretty cool. If we make offline purchases, sorry, this is where I go into Officeworks and buy some ink. This is maybe I buy a bit of software online. Okay, so I just email the receipt and documents in. Okay, if I make an offline purchase, then I can post the documents in, or I can scan it with the smartphone app, and it all goes to the same place. Okay, so that's our payment and financial management system. Very, very cool. And I've never actually shared that with anyone outside of our clients before. Okay, so I'm showing you how systemized we are. This is the kind of stuff that we teach our LEAP clients to do if they want to systemize their businesses, so you can have the leverage and the lifestyle. Because you can't run a successful business if you're hands-on all of the time. Okay. Now, if you're running an online business, you need a website, right? So I'll show you the systems that we use to create websites. So I do this simply as well. We use a free system called WordPress. You've probably heard of it or come across it. WordPress is very, very cool. It's like a skeleton or a framework for a website. It's actually a blogging platform, but Google loves it. It's very, very search engine friendly. So we use WordPress to build all of our websites, okay? And I absolutely love it. The theme, which means that the look and feel of the website that I use on, I can't think of a website I don't have this on, I use this on all of my websites, is called Optimize Press 2. This costs about $200. And as you can see in the blue ticks down the side, it creates sales pages, landing pages, membership portals, complete launch funnels when you're launching products and services, and authority blog sites. It's absolutely brilliant. And we use that on all of our websites. Very, very cool. So now that allows us to have a very look and feel that I can create myself, or I have an outsourcer. I actually don't work with a lot of outsourcers anymore because I enjoy doing, this is a bit controversial in kind of business coaching circles. Everyone thinks you need to have outsourcers and pay staff and stuff like that. And I actually like doing a lot of stuff myself because it doesn't take me a lot of time. I'm really good at it. I get the results that I want first time, and it doesn't cost me anything. Yeah. So I'm going against outsourcing. I just don't do a lot of it personally because I do great graphic design, I do great web design, I'm good at copywriting, all that kind of stuff. I've spent the money and time teaching myself how to do these things. I actually really enjoy it now. So I do all that stuff for myself, teach my clients how to do it, and teach them how to outsource as well. Because if you're not as good at this as I am, then you can actually waste a lot of time. I'm not saying don't ever outsource anything. I'm just saying if you know how to do it, you don't have to feel bad about not having outsourced staff in the Philippines, right? Just because it's kind of a big craze at the moment. So up to two. As an example, let's just move this off the slides for a moment. Move. There we go. This is the site that you would have registered on when you, actually I'll just delete that. This is a site that you would have registered on when you joined the webinar here. And it took me under an hour to do this page. Okay, so as you can see, I took this screenshot 8 hours ago, roughly. It took me an hour to do it last week. Wrote a couple of emails, and then all of a sudden there's a stack of people here on a webinar with me. Now, sure, I could have had someone else do that, but it took me an hour, and I got exactly the right result that I wanted, right? So it's really, really fun for me to do that. And that's the kind of result that you can end up with quickly and easily when you know how to do this. Once people are joining your marketing database, you need to have a system to communicate with people. There's loads of them out there. And you need a way to take money. I'm going to show you, I've used a bunch of different ones in the past. I'm going to show you the only one that I use now. It's called Ontraport. Ontraport. Now, this is not for everyone. This is about $300 a month for this system, okay, $297. Very, very cool system, though, because it does pretty much everything you want a system to do. It does automated emails,
There's manual email if I want to do that. It has a full client relationship management system, which means I can track the interaction with clients. It does payment processing. It has an affiliate tracking system. What else? It does so many things. We use this for running probably 80% of our business activities. Okay, it automatically connects. Well, not automatically. You've got to do a couple of things, but it'll connect really well with the webinar systems that we use. So when, for example, when you put your name and email in the form on the Optimize Press 2 page, your details go into Ontraport and also into the webinar system automatically at the same time. I don't have to do anything manual to make that happen, okay? So Ontraport. If $300 a month is out of your budget, then you need to do what I call a Frankenstein approach, which is you need to bolt different programs together. And what I usually recommend people start with is PayPal to take payments, PayPal, and Aweber for an autoresponder so that you can market to people and keep in touch with your clients automatically. It's Aweber. It's about $20 a month, all right? And PayPal will just charge a per transaction fee, and it's relatively small. That's how I started. It's how most people start out when they start selling online. And great little Frankenstein approach, yeah? So how about getting paid? If you go the full CRM system approach where you are taking people's credit card on your own website, then you need to have the payment gateway in the middle. The one that I use is called eBay. This company is fantastic. They take a very small transaction fee and then deposit the money in the bank account once a week. Very awesome. Like I said, it's free setup, no contracts, cancel anytime, and a free 30-day trial. Very cool system. They've also got great support. I talked to these guys, you know, a lot when I first started out to figure out how to use their system. So this is the step in between your shopping cart and your bank account. Okay, actually shopping cart and your merchant account. There's 4 steps: shopping cart, gateway, which is eWay, merchant account, which connects eWay to your bank account, and then finally the money goes into your bank account. A bit of a pain in the backside to set up at first, but if you want to run like a larger business and not rely on PayPal, then you need to take this leap at some point in the future. So how about creating products? So how to get paid? First, let's talk about what you get paid for. It's not going to be a product creation training. I'm not going to talk about how to create products. I'm just going to show you some of the software and apps that I use, because I actually do create products on my iPhone and iPad as well as on my my laptop. First of all, absolute minimum essential that you need. Someone just put a question in saying shopping cart. Yeah, I use Ontraport for the shopping cart as well. Okay, it doesn't have actual shopping cart. It has what they call smart forms, which is actually way better than a shopping cart in my experience. If you want a shopping cart, there's systems like One Shopping Cart. I've tried that. I thought it was rubbish, to tell you the truth. It's $100 a month, roughly $99 a month. I used another system which is $149 a month called Premium Web Cart. That's pretty good as a shopping cart, I must say, but I didn't like their email system, and I found it generally a bit tricky to use, but that works relatively well as well. Okay. For me, I can't go past Ontraport, but I know not everyone's ready to spend $300 a month. So to creating products, the absolute essential programs that you need, depending on which system you're using, is I'm running this webinar off a Mac, so MacBook Air. I used to have a PC though. When I was on PC, I created a lot of products with Camtasia and PowerPoint. Now I use Keynote to create my presentations, and I use ScreenFlow to record them. Okay, so they do very similar things. They record whatever is on your screen and turn it into a video that you can upload to your website, you know, for marketing or sales or delivery. And you pretty much can't get by without these programs. Most of my delivery of our marketing and business model training that's not on a live webinar in LEAP or the Mindset Mastery program, was all created with Camtasia or ScreenFlow. So we've got a load of home study programs in both of those coaching programs, and they were almost exclusively created with Camtasia or ScreenFlow. These programs alone have made me probably $100,000. They're absolutely essential. Someone says Keynote and what? So Keynote is used to create presentations on a Mac, and the equivalent for PC is called PowerPoint. PowerPoint. Good question. This is a system I've only recently started using, and I absolutely love it. It's transcribeme.com. This is so cool. So let's say that I create a video. Okay, let's say I'm creating a video for my blog, nick.com. And I do that video and it's 5 minutes long. I edit it in ScreenFlow and I save the video file. Then I can save the audio file separately and turn that into a podcast and upload it on the blog post underneath the video. But I also need some text. So I can just take that audio, put it into TranscribeMe, and for $1 per minute of audio, so it costs me about $5 for a 5-minute video, this system will, within, I think, 24 or 48 hours, return a word-perfect transcription of the audio with a 98 to 100% accuracy. And it'll give that to me in PDF, Word doc form, and HTML. I can just copy and paste it onto my web page. It is fantastic, and I don't hear anyone else talking about it. I absolutely love it. Someone else has just typed in that Camtasia is also available for Macs. It is, but if I've got it, actually I don't have it on my Mac. Yeah, it is available for Mac. ScreenFlow is my preference on Mac. So, you know, each to their own on that one. TranscribeMe, absolutely fantastic. I use this all the time. I've actually got systems where all I need to do, this is kind of a little bit too advanced for what we're talking about here, but I've got a system where all I need to do is drop the audio file into a specific folder on my computer, and I have a system automated in the background that will automatically upload whatever I put in that folder to TranscribeMe and then download the resultant file back into the same folder. So very, very cool. And I could, if I wanted to, share that folder with an outsourcer and have them handle the posting of that information to my blog. Very, very cool. So transcribeme.com. Next, let's talk about some marketing products. This is the essential these days. All right, you need, not this one specifically, but you need a system to deliver webinars if you want to run a business the way that I do. Right now, webinar, we are using this exact system, GoToWebinar. Very, very awesome system. It's about $150 a month in Australia if you want to use this. You know, it's relatively expensive. I heard recently, though, that if you sign up for the 30-day trial, it says try it free on the screen there, and then you don't continue after that trial, because they don't automatically charge you. They say, do you want to continue or not? If you don't, and you leave it for a couple of weeks, their support team will actually email you and say, would you like it for half price? So there's a cool little hack for you on GoToWebinar. This is an awesome system 99% of the time. Tonight it's let me down a little bit, but usually it's absolutely fantastic. This is the system that I use for all of my coaching. I said I'll tell you guys how I coach all of my clients in 3 to 4 hours a month without leaving home. It's GoToWebinar and my iPad. That's literally it, okay? What I do is I fire up GoToWebinar, I launch my an app on my iPad that allows me to write on the screen, write and draw, and then I use a little bit of software that costs $15 called Reflector that will share whatever's on my iPad on the screen. So as I'm talking to people and asking and answering questions, I can be writing and drawing on the iPad. Everyone can see what I'm writing. At the end of the sessions, I PDF that and I save the recording and I upload those to the members site so that if anyone wasn't on the call, they can come and check that out afterwards and download the notes with the action steps and those kind of things. Very, very awesome systems. So that's how I coach all of my clients in 3 to 4 hours a month. It's also great for sales webinars, a lot of people do sales presentations. You can do, you can give the people on the other end you can share your screen, use Teams as well. Had a meeting with one of my joint venture partners earlier in the week, and he wanted to show me a document. So with 2 clicks of the screen sharing system, we went from looking at my screen to looking at his screen. He's in Perth, and I'm in Sydney. It's absolutely fantastic. And then we swapped back, and we did that 3 or 4 times. It's just amazing. You can also put your webcam on and show people your face if you like. And it's just an amazing system. Absolute value for money, in my opinion. However, maybe you don't want to do live webinars. This is live right now, okay? But I also have a system called Easy Webinar Plugin. This is something that we've been building out for a while, and we're continuing to build out, where you can run automated webinars that look live. Very, very cool. It doesn't work for every product and service, but it does work for most of them if you know how to do it. We cover that in LEAP. So you don't even need to show up to run your webinars and make money. Very, very cool, right? So we're in the process of building that out in my company now, where we'll be running webinars all day, every day in different parts of the world, marketing them on autopilot. We've got those systems in place. People will be showing up. Those webinars will look live. I'm not going to lie to anyone and say that they are live, because some people do that, but I don't find that ethical, and I don't do anything that's not ethical. So they'll know it's automated, but that doesn't stop people showing up. They enjoy the format, and then at the end, they'll take action on whatever offer it is that we make available to people. And there you go. We have generated traffic on autopilot. We have them in a conversion tool, which is automated webinar on autopilot. We've made an offer on autopilot, and then they buy it on autopilot and go through our payment system that I showed you before. And all I have to do is check the bank account and make sure that the money's there, while I'm putting the trampoline up in the backyard or whatever it is that I'm doing, going on my way to jiu-jitsu class. Very, very cool. Someone's just said, why not Skype? Why not Skype? Okay, we've got a bunch of questions coming in. Why not Skype? You can use Skype. Why not Skype is I prefer GoToWebinar and GoToMeeting, which comes with GoToWebinar when you sign up for it. The main reason is if you're on Skype and you're talking to one person, everyone else can see that you're online. Now you can hide that, but I just find the audio is not as good as with GoToMeeting and GoToWebinar, and I can record it with one click, okay? And it's really easy to share control of the screen. I just prefer it for me personally. You could use Skype. Skype's free, that's cool. The main thing is I already use GoToWebinar for webinars, and I can't do that with Skype, okay? I can't handle registrations. GoToWebinar has automated emails that come out beforehand. Skype doesn't do any of that stuff, all right? Someone else says, where can we find this one? Easy Webinar plugin. Is it easywebinar.com? It is, indeed, Easy Webinar. Run by the guy in the picture on the right, Casey Zeman. Very nice guy. And someone else says, not a fan of auto webinars. Yep, cool. Someone else says Google Hangout. There's loads of ways to do it. Google Hangouts have their issues as well. You can't, there's systems you can use to automate emails and stuff with Google Hangouts, but they all sit on top. GoToWebinar is the one if you can handle that. It's going to cost you between $70 and $150 a month. I'm just showing you guys how I do it. I've tested everything out there. There's a stack of systems out at the moment. There's one called Webinar Jam that sits on top of Google Hangouts. It's got like a 45 to 60 second delay between whatever happens on your end and what people see and hear down the other end. It's just, the internet is not up to speed for these kind of systems in Australia yet. Maybe once we get the national broadband network, it'll be different. Someone else says Meeting Burner. Yeah, there's a bunch of systems that do the same thing, just not as well GoToWebinar and EasyWebinar plugin. I've tested everything else. These are the two that work really, really well. And someone else says, what are the benefits of live versus pre-recorded? Interaction. Okay, I could have recorded this session as a video, but when you ask that question right now, you wouldn't have got an answer. Okay, so that is the ability to interact with people, customize as you go, and find out really what people want and serve their needs in a more on-the-spot way. Awesome question. EasyWebinar plugin allows you to do these three things really well, right? Run live webinars, automated webinars that look real, and you can also run combination live and automated webinars where you start live and introduce, and then you go on the audio part and basically play video, and then if you want, you can come back at the end and answer questions. Very, very cool. So it's called hybrid. Absolutely awesome. Automated schedule. Someone says, what happens if the slides stuff up on auto? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Automated webinar, basically videos. So it doesn't just click through the slides. You know, you'd record it in Camtasia or ScreenFlow beforehand. Good question. Automated scheduling. I don't do back and forth email to set appointments with anyone at all these days. I actually very rarely touch my email. I use a system called TimeTrade, which works on any device for people to click to schedule time in my calendar. It's an online scheduling system connects to your Google Calendar, whatever other Outlook and iCal and all that kind of stuff. I use Google Calendar. You set the dates and times that you have available, and then people can book in automatically. All they need is the link to get there. Yeah, very, very cool. I use this with my clients if they need to talk to me. I use this with potential clients if they want to talk to me about joining any of my programs, because usually you can't just buy your way in, it's an application process. And I use this with joint venture partners to find a time for meetings. I basically don't let anyone. I've trained my clients and partners that I don't do back and forth email because it's a massive time suck. And I'd rather spend my time doing things that I want to do. Yeah? And TimeTrade is $49 a year. So there's no reason not to use a system like this. Just takes a little bit of getting used to and stepping away from the back and forth email. Yeah? $49 a year, absolutely nuts. And that's for the branded version where it just says TimeTrade up the top. If you want, you can put your own logo in. I think it costs you another $49. I didn't even bother. I don't see the problem with having TimeTrade. So you know, $50 a year, and you don't ever need to set an appointment with anyone ever again. Absolutely fantastic. Let's have a look at some iPad and iPhone apps. Is this good for you guys? We're the tech issues before. We're going to go a little over time. If that's okay, just say all cool. Just type all cool in to let me know that that you're going to hang out. All right? Yes, cool, awesome. Really appreciate that. We seem to be doing okay now with the transitions on the slides. I really appreciate it. I love it when people just act with compassion. It's a beautiful way to act. Right? Makes me want to really give to you. So iPad and iPhone apps. Sort of make this a little bit fun instead of just opening up my iPad and iPhone and show you some screenshots from my actual phone. On the left here, we have Dropbox. Right, this is an actual screenshot of my Dropbox account. I'm very well organized in my company. This is, we scroll down to R in my folders. We've got everything organized under revenue, the different income streams that we have there. Dropbox, if you have no idea what it is, go to dropbox.com and get yourself a Dropbox. It's a folder that you download to your PC or Mac. It works on any device, okay? You can get apps for it on iPad, iPhone, Android, all that kind of stuff. And what it is like any other folder that lives on your computer, except any file that you put in there is synced, backed up to an online storage account. And they've recently updated the amount of storage that they give you. They used to give you, for about $10 a month, you'd get 100 gigabytes of storage. They've just 10 times that to a terabyte for no extra money. Just for the hell of it, they went, you can all just have 10 times the space. So for $9.95 a month, you can get a terabyte, which is massive, of online storage, and you'll never lose a document. You can share individual folders with different people. So we have folders for certain joint venture partners where if I upload, if I just drag a file there, like a contract or a product spec or something, my JV partner in Perth, within about 30 seconds, it'll appear in his folder, in his Dropbox. Absolutely awesome. It's one of the coolest things I've got. Someone says, I love Dropbox. Yep, I agree. And the sharing is so easy, someone else. It's just amazing. What I love about it is that it connects to a lot of other apps on, I use, Apple stuff. I'm an Apple fanboy, but I use a lot of Apple stuff now. iPad, iPhone, we've got Apple computers in the house here, Apple TV. It's just cool because it all works so well together. On the right, I have an app called Sign and Send. And this is free. This is a really cool app because you can type on top of documents and PDFs and stuff like that. And then you can change from text to pen, and you can sign documents. So anytime, like just the other day, I was talking to my accountant, and he said, we need to, get you to sign this whatever form. So I want you to print it out and sign it and post it back to me. And I laughed, and I'm like, no, man, it'll be in your inbox in 2 minutes. And what are you talking about? So I've got this app. I'm just going to email the thing to me. I open it up in here. I tap, tap, tap. I sign it, and then I can just click send and send it straight from this app to his email. Absolutely fantastic. I love this app. I use it probably 5 times a week, all right, which is quite a bit. I do a lot of business with a lot of people. It's very, very cool. Next, we have an app called Dropvox. It's about the same as Dropbox, except with the V, right? Dropvox. What this is an audio recording app that links to a specific folder in your Dropbox account. So what I use this for is recording audio notes on the go that I want to be able to access from anywhere and not just on my phone. So there's an audio app on your phone. I might be interviewing someone and I want to get it transcribed, or I might be driving and talking through Bluetooth some product ideas or something like that. This is such a simple app. You connect it to a folder and there's just one button, that big red button. You click that and it starts recording. Talk, 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 talk. You click the button again, it stops recording, and then it uploads that audio file to Dropbox in the background. I have friends that use outsourcers, and what they use this for is they share the Dropbox folder in their Dropbox account with their staff member, and they never email that outsourcer. So let's say they want to say, they'll copy a PowerPoint presentation into that folder and say, I want you to record this as a Camtasia video, okay? So I'll open Dropbox, they'll hit record, and they'll go, hello, outsource person, you'll find a document in the folder called, ABC presentation. Here's the 5 steps I want you to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Send me a text message when you receive this audio, and then send me another text message when the task is done. Thank you very much. And then they'll hit stop, and that's it. That's all they have to do. Then it's automatically uploaded to the folder. The outsourcer gets the file, sends a text message, so I've received it, does the work, sends another text message saying the file's back in the folder. I've done whatever you want to do. It's good to go. Absolutely awesome. Someone just said sensational. Yeah, this is it. On the right-hand side is an app for a system. This is organized. This is owned by the same people who run GoToWebinars, called Citrix. And this is a system called Podio. This is like Basecamp, or if you've done any of those other project management systems, just really easy and simple to use. I like it. It's $9 a month per person. Very, very cool. It's just like a flat fee. And this is where we manage all of our projects, okay? And what I like about it is that it's got a really cool iPad and iPhone app. I don't even have this one on my iPad. I just run it from my iPhone. I don't use my iPad all that much anymore. I do most of my work on my iPhone and a little bit like probably 70% on my iPhone and 30% with my laptop. I do most things on my phone, which is why these are screenshots of iPhone apps. What would it be like, if you could run a six-figure business from your phone? Totally awesome, right? Next, we have GoToWebinar. You can actually run webinars and attend webinars from your phone. Very, very awesome, okay? And do meetings and stuff like that. And on the right-hand side, I'm not going to go into that anymore. We know what GoToWebinar does. I talked about it in the software section. On the right-hand side, we have another app called TouchNote. This is really cool. What this allows you to do is upload pictures, turn them into physical postcards, put people's address in, and when you click go, it will upload it to the TouchNote system. They will print that as an actual postcard and mail it to the person. It's really cool. So when someone joins our LEAP program, you can see up the top there, welcome to Lifestyle Entrepreneur Accelerator Program, 6 figures in your spare time. That's the tagline of the program. They get a postcard that looks exactly like that with a personal message from me on the back welcoming them to the program. And it costs about $1 per postcard. Absolutely fantastic, right? And down the bottom, that's my wife and 2 gorgeous kids. I took that beautiful photo in Darling Harbour, and whilst Alex was off playing with the kids, this is really cool, and I don't only use it for business. I turned it into a postcard and I had it delivered, and 2 days later, that she didn't even know I'd done this, that postcard arrived in our PO box, and she was blown away and still attached to the fridge. Very cool. Someone says you're going to love the iPhone 6 for the big screen. Yeah, I probably would, but I'm not going to get one. Got an iPhone 5, and I don't update stuff just for the hell of it. But if I ever get tempted, or if this one breaks or something, I'll check it out with the bigger screen. I don't mind the screen. My eyes are pretty good. Next, we have a system that allows me to automate almost all of my marketing distribution. It's called If This Then That. Okay, if this then that. It allows you to set up automation rules with more than just marketing. There's loads of things that it can do. But what I do is when I publish a post on my blog, I have if this then that rule set up, that once a blog post is published, that it's shared with all of my Facebook pages, my Facebook groups. It's shared to my Twitter account, my LinkedIn account. The image in the blog post is shared to Pinterest. And, all that stuff that we know that we should do, all I do is create the blog post and then click publish, and then that all happens automatically in the background. Okay, so again, that's a totally free system to use. If this, then that, and absolutely fantastic. And on the right-hand side, we've already talked about Transcribe Me, so you guys know what that one does. You upload audio files and they'll transcribe it with 98 to 100% accuracy. There's an app for this as well. If I want something transcribed, like this is different than creating audio notes for Dropbox. Let's say I'm interviewing someone and I want that interview to be transcribed. I'll record the interview in Transcribe Me, and as soon as I click stop, it's automatically uploaded to Transcribe Me, and they start transcribing it. And 2 days later, I've got the almost word-perfect transcription and the audio. Very, very cool. Yeah. So I can do that anywhere. Don't even need to upload it. Just happens from the app. So what will life be like if you could work from anywhere in the world? I've shown you guys a bunch of systems, software, and apps that I use to run my business from my laptop, iPhone, and iPad. Escape the 9 to 5, live and work anywhere, make money doing what you love. In a word, what would that be like? What would life be like? Someone says relaxing. That sounds pretty cool, relaxing. What would life be like if you could work from anywhere in the world? I'll give you 10 more seconds. Freedom lifestyle, absolutely. Freedom lifestyle, right? That's what we all want. What else you got, guys? Someone says, am I just stupid, or is what you're doing relatively simple, excluding the product creation? Well, you're not stupid, but yes, what I'm doing is relatively simple. Why make it hard?
That's the best question I've had in ages. Am I just stupid or what? No, you're not stupid. There's a difference between stupid and don't know how something's done. You know, someone says lifestyle plus 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 plus. I don't think it means you're stupid if you don't know how to do this stuff, or that if you've never implemented it, because I didn't implement it for a really long time. You know, I knew about a lot of this stuff, but I didn't implement it. The question is, now that you know about it, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Someone says, how do you get info into the accounting software? Which accounting software do you use? Oh, good question. I use a system called SASU, SAASU.com. And when you're setting that up, there's ways you just kind of click a couple of buttons and enter your bank account details, and it'll pull in, it's called a bank feed. It'll pull in real time the transactions from your bank account. Yeah? Good question. Another question, what's being locked in to your location costing you? It's highly likely, if you're like 80 to 95% of the people that I talk to and work with when they first start working with me in Leap, that you are locked into your location right now. You live close to where you work, right? That I've had that in the past. I don't have to do that anymore, but it sucks in my opinion. What is being locked into your location costing you? If you could summarize that in a word, what would it be? I'll give you 10 seconds to type that in now. What is being locked into your location costing you? I'm not necessarily talking about money here. It could be like it's frustrating, it's tiring, whatever it is. Someone says freedom, time. Yeah, that's right. Relaxation again. Freedom, travel, absolutely. It's an energy suck. So we get lots of cool answers coming in there. Ask yourself, am I ready to make the leap? You know, is it time to go locked? You have to pick one. Go ahead and type one in now. What is it? You want to be just type locked or liberated? I give you 10 seconds to do that. Make your choice, okay? Locked or liberated. Because remember, you must be the one who draws the line in the sand. So far, you guys have said you don't want to be hands-on, you want to be hands-off. And no one's saying they want to be locked in. Liberated all over the place in these answers, right? We've got liberated, lib. Yep, so same deal, liberated. You got to draw that line in your sand. I'm being serious. This is oh gee, Nick, tough call. I'm gonna guess that was Andrew again. Liberated. You have to be prepared to make a change, right? Someone once, I heard someone say this at a seminar once. If I can remember who it is, I'll tell you, but right now it escapes me. They said, if you want to make some changes in your life, you have to make some changes in your life. I thought that was magical. Absolutely brilliant, yeah? Someone's unsure how to convert kinesiology clients to online. Okay, cool. We should probably have a chat about that. I think I've got a rough idea who that is, but it's coming up as friends, so, you know, we should talk about that. You've got to draw this line in the sand. I'm not just putting this in because it's a pretty picture. This is like a call to arms for you. We know you have this gap of whatever that amount of money is per month, and however many days off you're not taking that you should be, and however much of a difference you're not making that you should be. And you only get one shot at life. You know, you've got to step up at some point and go, I'm going to invest in myself, I'm going to take action, and I'm going to get off my ass and make this happen. You know, like it's just time to get it happening. Okay, cool, that's Lucy about kinesiology, awesome. Actually, I don't think I know Lucy, I'm not sure. Awesome. I studied kinesiology, it's pretty fascinating. You can go from hands-on to hands-off, locked into liberated, and from making dollars to making a difference when you know what I know and you implement it, yeah? So we just covered a ton of stuff in our system section with our software, our apps, flowcharts, all those kind of things. I'm going to check in again. What's been most valuable so far? Just summarize it for yourself. This is a little bit for me. I'm interested, but really it's so that you can, when the learning, you self-identify your learnings, it's easier to remember. Someone says apps, fantastic. And the next question for you, you don't need to type this in, is what will the impact on your life and business be if you action that information? Okay, that thing that's most valuable for you, if you action that, what will it be? Someone says all the apps and software and the apps to automate. Simplicity of combining the apps, yeah, that's right.
and can move overseas. This is the absolute surface. I'm an automation nut. I'm actually in the process right now of creating a system where I just will never need to hire someone else ever again if I can pull this off. But if I do a very, very small job, yeah, someone else is automating. So automation is really important to you guys, yeah. The laptop income lifestyle. That's right. We are constantly refining these systems so that we just work less and less and less all the time, whilst the income goes up and up and up. One of the projects that we're working on at the moment is creating multiple six-figure income streams through joint ventures. So we're partnering with some of our former clients and other associates of mine who have met on speaking circuits and stuff like that. At the moment, we've got 5 joint ventures on the go, and they all have $1 million plus potential. Yeah. So when you get these systems in place, it's amazing what you can do, and it's literally copy and paste on each of these joint ventures, because we don't need to recreate the system. We are just copying and pasting our system into different niche markets. Very, very cool. So now you might be thinking, that's great, Nick, but you know what? I'd like to see some real world results. Thank you very much. I'm going to show you guys some of my clients. Would that be cool? Let's have a look. This is a couple that I coached for a while called Richard and Michelle. Okay. When I met them, Richard was a full-time lawyer working 80 hours a week, and he had to drive an hour and a half each way from home to get to his job to work 80 hours a week. So on top of working 80 hours a week, he had an hour and a half commute each day. Michelle, his wife, run their 4 laundromats and their 7 kids. They've got 7 kids, only 5 in the photo. And because of all that crazy lifestyle, they were facing divorce when I met them. After 3 months of working with me, because of the mindset component of what we do when we coach people, they proudly proclaimed that I'd fixed their marriage, which is cool. I don't take credit for that. I showed them the way, and they chose not to leave each other and do the work. I didn't do the work for them, but I told them what to do, and they did it. Helped them get rid of the blocks in the way. Richard got a new job, still as a lawyer, working 15 minutes from home, 3 days a week for the same money. We helped him negotiate that, told him what to do, what to say. And after one session with Michelle, she signed new corporate clients for their laundromat business. So instead of chasing backpackers, because they're on the Gold Coast, these guys, backpackers for $6 a load of washing, all of a sudden they're doing 600 loads from, a hotel. And there's hotels all over the Gold Coast. So we taught them how to go for those kind of clients. And she signed one after just one session. Totally revolutionised the business. Really cool. There's another client of mine, the awesome Stephen, who's very soon to be Dr. Stevens, just finished his PhD in nutrition. Steve's got 2 kids, lives in Manchester in the UK. Still coach Stephen now. He's been with me for probably 2 years now, I'd have to say. I wanted to create a fat loss coaching business. So we came up with the concept fat-free for good, because people don't want a yo-yo diet. They want to know that when they lose it, it'll stay gone. And Stephen's PhD was in weight loss, and he's kind of pioneering a new approach. I won't go into it now. We might do a webinar on that in the future if anyone's interested. Helped him write a book. Whoops. And he's been featured on TV on Channel 4 in the UK in a show called Food Hospital. Imagine what that does for your credibility. Yeah, absolutely awesome. Another client of mine called Camilla. When I met Camilla, it was a couple of years before I started coaching her. She took me on as a coach, applied for a program. She got in because she was deep in debt. Yeah, actually didn't know that when I took her on as a client, but I found out quick smart afterwards that she was in debt. She was fearing bankruptcy. She was formerly a mortgage broker and wanted to teach women how to master their money, but felt like a fraud because she was facing bankruptcy. Yeah? She created a business called Money Mastery for Women. It's kind of gutsy to do that when you don't feel that you're making any kind of money. And she was going to get kicked out of her apartment, and just terrible things were happening. So we put some of the LEAP systems in place for Camilla, helped her go from nearly broke to making 40 grand in a weekend. She then went on to consult and do quite a big project with, I think it was St. George Bank, or might have been ANZ or something, consulting with major banks, a couple of them, might have been Westpac, I don't know, in Australia here. Traveled to the US, talking a TV show deal on the Money Mastery for Women concept. And when I created this slide, she's actually back in Australia, I believe, but she was living in London. And she flew her daughter over to London and set her up in an apartment just down the road from her. Yeah, so revolutionised Camilla's life. Pretty cool. This is Rachel. Rachel lives in Tasmania. Lives on a dairy farm in Tasmania. She's a mother of 4, school teacher when I met her, wanted to create a parenting coaching business. Came up with a concept called pain-free parenting for Rachel. Helped her write her book, which I told her to call Pain-Free Parenting, but her middle name's Hope, so she decided to call it Parenting with Hope. Actually, don't really like that title because it's a bit soft. Hope is a passive emotion, you know, like I prefer to parent with certainty or something like that. You know. Anyway, she called it Parenting with Hope instead of Pain-Free Parenting. It's an awesome book, despite the title. Got featured on TV on 60 Minutes as a parenting expert. And this is really fun. Her husband's a dairy farmer. So they flew me down to Tasmania to spend a weekend on their dairy farm and help them automate it because they wanted to take a 3-month holiday around Australia in a camper van, which they ended up doing because we automated the dairy farm, multi-million-dollar dairy farm. And now both their businesses are still automated, and they have plans to go and live in France for 2 years, and the businesses will still work without them as a result of the work that we did. Here's one more. This is Brian. Brian, when I met Brian, was a former pro golfer and cricketer. Runs a golf course and does professional golf coaching in the golf store in Redcliffe in Queensland. Needed to bring in some quick cash. He's not broke by any means. This guy actually makes loads of money, but you know, needed to invest in something business related. We let him join Leap in November last year, and after our very first session, I gave him one idea, and he went away and applied it straight away and made $20,000 in an hour, 20 grand in an hour. How would that change your life if you could go and make 20 grand in an hour from one conversation? Yep. And the idea that I came up with in there, that part of the conversation took about 5 minutes. And I told him, if you go and do this, you will absolutely make money. So he went, implemented it, rang me back about an hour and a half later and said, I've just signed 20 grand's worth of business from that idea, and you are a genius, which is pretty cool. And this is actually Jeff of Jill and Jeff. Jeff calls himself the Kitchen Doctor. He's a cabinet maker and kitchen installer. He's busy going broke when I first met him. In July last year, he joined Leap. We redesigned their marketing, helped him launch a new membership style program called the Kitchen Doctor. And shortly after that, helped him with the conversion of a $70,000 deal with, I think it was either an apartment complex, he had a few going, an apartment complex, or a school, or a hotel holiday units on the Gold Coast. Yeah, $70,000 worth of business. Again, from that was probably 2 conversations that we pulled that off for Jill and Jeff. Totally awesome, right? So that's, you know, that's loads of really awesome results for other people who aren't you. If you look at it like that, it's fantastic. I'll show you guys that, and our clients absolutely smash it, but they're not you. You know, I don't know exactly why you showed up here today. I'm assuming it's because you want to know how to run a 6-figure lifestyle business from your iPad, iPhone, or laptop in, you know, 4 hours a month, escape the 9 to 5, live and work anywhere, make money doing what you love, so you can have leverage, lifestyle, and legacy. That'd be the summary, right? But you're not doing that right now. So you've got your own specific reason, the part of that makes most sense to you as to why you showed up here. Someone says it would be life-saving. Absolutely. You could have showed up because you got the fear of failure going on, and you know I can help you with that. You got the cash flow roller coaster, and you're sick of it, and you're tired of not making passive income. You know, and now you know that you must have the right mindset, the right model, the right marketing, and the right mentor if you want to make the leap to a 6 or 7-figure business. Because without these 4 things, you will not get there. You're screwed without it, right? And now you know my simple 6-figure system. It does, like someone said before, am I just stupid, or is what you do just relatively simple? And no, you're not stupid. And yes, it is relatively simple. It's not even relatively simple. It's simple. Business should not be hard. It should be fun. It should be simple. Yeah. And you also know which apps and software I use to run my business from my iPad, iPhone, and laptop.
what I want to do is just introduce you guys to another concept really quickly. If you've been on another webinar with me before, you will have seen this. Normally I have these things come up step by step, but we can't do that tonight, so that's cool. From LEAP, we have, it's built around aviation metaphor, right? So you are the pilot of your life and your business. And these are the different stages of business that you progress through in LEAP, and without it, if you're lucky, right? But with LEAP, it's a lot faster and easier. We start at ignition, where you've got an idea and you're kind of running on the smell of an oily rag, not really getting anywhere, struggle street. Then you take off. You're staring down the runway, you take off, right? You become airborne. Your tires leave the ground. That's when you get your first climb or your first sail. And that's when you can consider yourself to be a startup. Before that, it's kind of a dream, Once you get your first sail, you're in startup mode. Then set your sights to the sky, and it's time to climb, all right? So kind of between, say, 5 and 10 grand a month, then you're climbing. But this is still struggle for most people. Break even in the Western world tends to be around about 10 grand a month. And when I ask people what kind of income are you looking at as a starting point, it would be a really great first 90 days in LEAP. They say, yeah, if I just get to 10 grand a month, that'd be fantastic. Because then all the problems go away, right? Next, once we've climbed, we want to pick up speed. So we get velocity, right? Which basically means go faster. We're going to double our income. We're going to get to 20 grand a month. And then we're at stability. What would life be like if you're making 20 grand a month right now? It'd be pretty fantastic, right? 20 grand is enough for most people to pay all of their expenses, and I mean absolutely everything: mortgage, rent, whichever one situation you're in, all of your bills, and have enough money to do pretty much whatever you want on the site. Now, that doesn't mean buy a super yacht, but that means, take a holiday pretty much whenever you want, weekend away, a couple of months a year. 20 grand consistently a month gives you stability. You're out of the struggle. From there, we want to hit the cruising altitude. So we're going to double your income again and get to about 40 grand a month. This is when you consider yourself pretty successful. This is like, it's about $250,000. So it's about $500,000 a year, just under $480,000, right? So you're doing really well at this point. You're cruising. And the ultimate goal for a lot of people is $1 million a year. Okay, so the 7-figure business. And that's about $84,000 a month, which is just a phenomenal amount of money if you stop and really think about it. And that's when you're on autopilot, okay? So you've earned your wings, you can just sit back. When a pilot qualifies as a pilot, then they earn their wings, they get that cool little badge. Down the bottom right-hand corner, that's the wings for LEAP, okay? So now you don't have to make $1 million to earn your wings, you have to hit the level that you set when you first join the program. Right, and that's when you earn your wings. Okay, so you're on autopilot, making 80 grand roughly a month, $1 million a year, and that's time when it's time to scale. What are we going to do? We're going to sell. Are we going to license, franchise? Are we going to float it, do an IPO, or just take the money and run? What are you going to do? You're going to start something else. You're going to leave it as a legacy for your kids. What I want you to do is figure out exactly where you're at and type that word in right now. Go ahead and type that word in. I won't know who you are because it just says friend. But go ahead and type that in. Are you at ignition, airborne, climbing, velocity, cruising, or autopilot? I'll give you 10 seconds to type that in. We've got a bunch of people saying ignition, spluttering ignition. Yep, fair enough, cool. Ignition, almost at startup. Nice. Someone's almost got their first client. Airborne, beautiful. So we've got a couple of people almost airborne. A stack of you guys are at ignition. Awesome. What I want to know now is, where do you want to be? What's your goal? Where do you want to get to? So, assuming it's going to be higher than airborne, right? So you want to get to climbing, velocity, cruising, or autopilot. Where do you want to be? A bunch of people saying autopilot, cruising plus. Okay, so autopilot, velocity. So we've got one person saying 20 grand a month, everyone else saying $40,000 to $80,000 a month. Okay. But we're at the ignition stage, so 0 to 10. Okay. What I do in LEAP is I help people who are typically between airborne and climbing get to cruising. Okay. We can help you get to autopilot, but the promise of LEAP, like the whole point of it, is 6 figures in your spare time.
for most people, 6 figures, high 6-figure income is all you'll ever need. It's a phenomenal amount of money. If you want to go to 7 figures, we can show you how to do that too. It's just more of the same, really, right? Your mindset needs to change slightly. If you are at Ignition and you've got a really good idea that you think can get you to velocity or cruising, all right, or you're already at airborne and you're somewhere between airborne and climbing, and you think that having someone to bounce some ideas off would get you to velocity or cruising faster, then we should probably have a chat. Unfortunately, it's a fact that 95% of people do absolutely nothing with what they learn. And I've covered a ton of stuff on this webinar tonight. You guys have been with me for almost 2 hours now, and I really appreciate you hanging out with me to the end because the tech issues earlier on. You know, it's fantastic that you've hung around. But I know 95% of people do absolutely nothing with what they learn. And I also know it's a fact that that just sucks. That sucks. You know, someone asked before, you know, am I just stupid? This is the only thing that I would say is stupid, is to sit through an entire webinar like this and then not take any action. Yeah, not do anything with what you've learned. That is crazy, and that absolutely sucks. Here's another fact. I am going to guess with, I reckon, 100% accuracy that you want to be in the other 5%. If that's true, type 5 into the box for me. Yeah. If you want to be in that other 5%, go ahead and type 5 in. Be an action taker and type 5 in. So everyone's typing in 5, right? You want to be there. Why the hell wouldn't you? Someone says, bloody hell, Nick, with what you've given us, why wouldn't we stick around till midnight if necessary? I don't know who that is, friend, but you're a legend. I really appreciate that. That's super kind words. So you want to be in the other 5%. Everyone's just typed in 5. The obvious question is how are you going to get those kind of results in your life and business? Yeah, I can give you information. You can take a bunch of notes on it. You fill out a notebook with the amount of info that I give you for free. But if you take that notebook and put it on your shelf, the best you're going to get is shelf development, which basically means nothing changes. Yeah, you need to actually apply it and get self-development. You want to develop yourself to the point where you can get these results in your life and your business. You've got to ask yourself, how can you join the other 5%? I'm going to ask you a question. It comes down to how fast do you want to go, okay? You can stay on struggle street and figure it all out on your own and do it at the snail's pace, you know, slow and steady. Doesn't actually win the race, that's rubbish. You know, you watch the Olympics and they don't go, oh, look at that, competitor B is going slow and steady and he's just won the gold. No, it's the person who runs the fastest and the hardest, yeah? Slow and steady wins the race is rubbish that's designed to keep people at a level of mediocrity where they're easy to control. Because I'll tell you this, people who make all the money that they want, have all the time and the lifestyle that they want and can make a difference in the world, they're not easy to control, which means they're scary to the people who are in control, like governments. Yeah, there's a conspiracy to keep you under control, and I think it's rubbish. So how fast do you want to go? Do you want to escape that? Do you want to get into do you want to go through life on a pogo stick, bouncing from idea to idea, or do you want to get in a Porsche and put your foot on the accelerator pedal, smash this once and for all, and hit the goal that you want? Yeah? It all comes down to how fast you want to go. The solution, if you're interested, is we can have a chat about LEAP. Okay, gets results for everyone else. No reason why it wouldn't get results for you. If you can follow some simple instructions, you've already seen how simple I make this, then this might be good for you. But, you know, this there's nothing to buy on this webinar because you can't buy your way into this program, okay? You have to be accepted. I am very selective on who I let in because I only let people in who I know are going to actually do the work. And you won't make excuses and you'll show up in life and business and you're ready to make a change and, you know, stop being an information junkie and become an implementation junkie, yeah? What every single one of the clients in the case studies has in common is they took action on the advice that I gave them, okay? You must have the right mindset, the right model, the right marketing, the right mentor if you want to make the leap to a 6 or 7 figure business. No, that is an undeniable fact. My LEAP program is not right for everyone, right? This is right for you if you've already got a business or a great idea. You're already making, say, 8 to 10 grand a month and you want to smash it really quickly, or you're prepared to invest in yourself, right? There's a fee to be in the program. I don't coach people for free, but we have ways where you can get involved in this program as little as $200 a month, okay? As little as $200 a month. It can't be any easier. If you want to talk about that, we can talk about that. There's, like I said, nothing to buy on this, right? This is right for you if you want to add a six-figure second income. You can keep doing what you want to do. Like someone said, I might just want to keep doing social work. That's cool. What if you had 6 figures in your spare time? You can do whatever you want with your time. Do social work, do whatever it is that you want to do, yeah? So if you've got a business or a great idea, actually doesn't really matter if you're making 8 to 10 grand a month. I mean, you guys are hanging out with me for 2 hours here, so I'm happy to talk to you, even if you're not at that level, but you're an action taker and you're actually, you realize that, there's no free rides in the program. There's an investment. You need to be prepared to invest in yourself, but you can do it for as little as roughly $200 to $300 a month. Yeah, we can show you how to do that. I built this for myself originally. Here's why I built this program. I built it to take myself from making $16,000 a year as an acupuncturist. I didn't even know I was building LEAP at the time, but I was. And I built it to go from that in 2005 to what we live now. 6 figures in my spare time, run it from my iPad, iPhone and laptop, 95% online, group coaching. Fantastic results for me, fantastic results for the client. Bridge, lifestyle and legacy. Absolutely awesome. And I want to show you how to escape the 9 to 5 so you can live and work anywhere and make money doing what you love. It's designed to move you from hands-on to hands-off so you get the leverage, from locked in to liberated so you can live and work wherever you want, and from making dollars to making a difference. That's the result of this program. So I'll ask you a question. If you could spend an hour with me to get crystal clear, this is you and me, one-on-one, an hour, crystal clear to get crystal clear about what's possible for you, the level of income, lifestyle and freedom that you want, to discover the number one mental roadblock that's stopping you from adding an easy 6 figures to your yearly income, we'll analyze 5 essential profit butterflies for rapidly increasing your income, identify the most powerful actions that will move you to double your income, eliminate your debt, and halve your working hours. So double your income, double your time off, and get rid of your debt. And leave the session with the confidence of knowing exactly what to do to take your mindset and your lifestyle business, lifestyle enterprise to the next level fast, even if you're just starting out. If that's of interest to you, would you want to do it? If you would, I'll show you exactly how you can. Like I said, I'm not selling this program, okay? This is not a sales pitch. This is an opportunity to find out if this program would be right for you, if I could help you, and how I could help you, okay? So there is no guarantee of acceptance into this program, and there's no obligation to join. We're going to talk for 10 minutes on the phone, and I'm not going to try and pitch you or close you or any other cheesy sales tactic that people usually do, because it's all rubbish. We don't need to do any of that, right? I'm just going to have a conversation with you, ask you a bunch of questions, and my goal is to find out if or how I can help you. If I can, we'll actually schedule another conversation for an hour where we'll talk about how. And that's where we'll go right deep into your business or your business idea and pull it apart and figure out how you're going to make 6 figures in your spare time. In that initial 10-minute call, if I don't feel that I can help you, I will politely let you know and do my absolute best to point you in the right direction. If I know of someone else who I think you'd be better suited to work with, I'll tell you who that is. And if possible, make a personal introduction if I know the person, yeah? Because I want you to win, okay? That's why I do it this way. If you're interested, what you need to do is type this into your address bar, okay? I'm going to type it in so you can just click on the link in the
that'll come through the question box, right? leapmembers.com/session. When you get there, you'll see a form that looks just like the one we've got on the screen here, okay? And all you need to do, someone said, already booked in for tomorrow. Welcome, friend. That's pretty cool. I look forward to having a chat with you tomorrow for 10 minutes. That's pretty awesome. So go to leapmembers.com/session. All I need to do is just fill out that form for me. It'll take you 30 seconds. Now, this is important. There's a bunch of questions that will let me know if I can actually help you or not. I'm just going to open up my internet for a second here. Something important that one person showed me this once, and I think it's really important for you to know. It's what the page looks like. There is a box here that says, what is your current monthly income and what's your target monthly income? In that box for target monthly income, don't type a $sign or it won't work, okay? So if I type, say 40,000 in there, everything's fine. If I put a $sign in front, we'll get an error saying, please complete this mandatory field, okay? So don't put a $sign, just type a number and everything will be fine. Once you fill out that form and click the submit button at the bottom, okay, it'll take you to a page that looks like this. TimeTrade, the system that we use. Let's say, schedule your 10-minute chat with Nick County. And it explains just what I explained to you now. My job is to find out if or how I can help. If I can't, I'll pull out to let you know, try to point you in the right direction. If I can, we'll make another time to talk in more detail, okay? You click the continue button down the bottom right-hand corner. So you should go ahead and do that now. This is where you want to be, all right? So leapmembers.com/session is where you want to be. Once you hit the button, you will come to our TimeTrade booking calendar. So you get to see how it works live in person, which is pretty cool. And you can choose from whatever times we have available left. This will be you and me, all right? So put your phone number and your Skype ID in, and I'll just give you a call at the appropriate time. Tomorrow or over the next week. We've got times, Tuesdays and Thursdays is when I talk to people for 10 minutes about these things. We've got a couple of times left. There's only 3 on each of those days, as you can see. There were more beforehand, but there you go. People snapping those up as we go. And then you can save that appointment time to your calendar if you like, and you get an automated email saying this is when Nick's going to call you, stuff like that. It's pretty cool, right? So that's what to do if you want to have a chat to me about creating 6-figure income in your spare time, okay? leapmembers.com/session. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to open it up to questions now, all right? So that's the end of the content. I really appreciate you hanging out with me here. If you have a question for me, I want you to go ahead and type it in the chat box. What usually happens here is some people ask a bunch of questions and everyone else is off grabbing their 10-minute spot before they're all gone because we've got more people than available sessions on the webinar. So that's cool. Gets to be a bit of a race. If you've got a question for me, go ahead and type that in. Oh, that's right. Cool. Someone said link for the presentation. There is something that occurred to me as I've gone through this is I updated the slides and I haven't PDF'd this version yet. So I could give you the link to the outdated version, but you probably don't want it. I have everyone's email address who's on the webinar here. What I'll do is I'll PDF this version, the updated one with the new apps that I use, because I'm constantly updating that, and I'll email it to everyone, okay? So the link I was going to give to you is kind of no good anymore. I'll do that tomorrow so you can get that. Thanks for reminding me. That popped in my mind as I went, oh, I can't actually give the guys the link at the end because I updated the slides just today. I realised there's a bunch of new apps that I've been using over the last couple of months since I've done this presentation previously. Very good question. That tells me that you're an action taker. That's good, and you've got a good memory, whoever that is. So I'll send that out in an email. Someone else says, can you tell me again what happens in a 10-minute call? All right, so I'll give you a quick rundown. The fact that you're asking that that question says that we should probably
actually book in for that chat. Yeah, you're in the right place at the right time. So what will happen on that call is I'm going to ask you a stack of questions about where you want to get to in your business, where you're at right now, and what's in the way. Very, very simple. It'll kind of feel like a friendly interrogation, all right? Then I'm going to help you figure out what's missing, if anything, and we'll talk about putting a plan in place to bridge the gap, move the obstacles out of your way, and get from where you are to where you want to be in terms of your leverage, lifestyle, legacy, and your income. So that's what we cover in 10 minutes, right? It's rapid fire. I know exactly what we're doing in that 10 minutes. You can just trust me to lead the way. I'm the man with the plan. We'll make it happen. Okay? Very, very cool. Someone else says, friend says, would you advocate having a product suite before starting to use Ontraport or after? That's a really good question. If you can afford the $297 a month for Ontraport, I'd say get it and build your products out as you go, because you can use it to build your marketing list. Here's an example of a case study. One of my clients is a bookkeeper. Pardon me. She didn't want to do hands-on bookkeeping anymore because that was about $50 a week per client that she was making, so not a lot of money. So you came up with the concept of teaching other people how to be their own bookkeeper. He charges $497, it might be $397, I'm not sure, but let's say $397 a month, I believe, for that program for 12 months. And before she'd even built the program, all we had was some notes on a piece of paper after a coaching session on what could possibly be involved. She had a mailing list. She sent an email out saying, here's what I've got, would you like it? And she sold $8,000 worth in the first week, and the product hadn't even been built yet. Then she sent me an email or maybe a message in our Leap Facebook group saying, this is awesome, just made $8,000. This is $8,000 recurring, by the way, $8,000 a month. I should probably build the website and the product now, right? Ha ha ha. So, I mean, that kind of thing is absolutely fantastic. Yeah. The other way to do it is to build your products and then start using Ontraport. But I like to build things that I know people want. That's an awesome question. So leapmembers.com/session. That's where you get to spend 10 minutes with me, and we will talk about building out your custom lifestyle entrepreneur plan. Very, very cool. Cool. Not really getting any other questions coming through, so I'm going to wrap it up. Really appreciate you hanging out with me here tonight. If you'd enjoyed that, you know, just kind of type in applause or something cool like that, or usually get some nice pats on the back here when you go compliment fishing. If you've enjoyed that, just, you know, so that's cool, which is awesome. Someone says, this is gold. Many thanks, Brian from Geelong. Someone else said, we've got thank you, thank you, thank you. Very, very cool. Awesome. Someone else hasn't caught up yet. Okay. Not sure what you mean by I haven't caught up yet. That's cool. Filling out the form, says Linda from SA. Very nice, Linda. I will have a chat to you at the time of your choosing. So I look forward to talking to you and anyone else. leapmembers.com/session. Linda has taken action. Welcome, Linda. It's going to be a very cool conversation. Let's figure out how to get you 6 figures in your spare time. If you guys are looking to do the same thing, that URL is going to be on the screen for just a moment longer. If you're asking yourself, can I afford to join Nick's mentoring program? That's the wrong question. If that's what's stopping you filling out this box for 10-minute chat, right? Because you cannot buy your way into this program, okay? It's not, can I afford it? It's, can I afford not to spend 10 minutes with Nick for free when he charges $1,100 an hour for consulting to find out if or how he can help me
when even if he can't, he's going to point me in the right direction. Yeah? No one else does it like I do it. This is like, who gives away their time? I'll give anyone 10 minutes. You know, I love you guys. This is my business. This is my life. It's awesome. 10 minutes. That's all it'll take. Someone else says, can Ontraport add members to a closed Facebook group? No. Cool question though. But I know you probably want to add people to a closed Facebook group. So what you can do is create the link where people can request to join the Facebook group and stick that in an email and email it out to your list. But Ontraport can't directly add people to the Facebook group. Ontraport does integrate with Facebook in terms of people joining your list with the Facebook login button instead of putting their name and email address in a form, but that's cool. Someone says, can I add them? Okay, that's a two-part question. Can Ontraport add members to a closed Facebook group as per the LEAP Facebook group? No, can't. If I can't see your name, if you're a LEAP client, we'll have a chat about that in person. If what you want to do there, and if you're not a LEAP client, then you probably want to ask that question a bit more. Okay, it's Brian. Cool. All right. Yeah, we'll talk about Facebook groups, Brian. If you want to do that for your clients, no problem. Someone else says, purchased a session with you early in the year and haven't caught up yet. Yes, that's correct. We had a stack of people. I've had like 50 people who bought packages that included time with me, and about half of them took it, half of them didn't. Emailed you a bunch of times to the same email address you would have received the emails about the webinar. Whoever that is, go ahead and fill out the 10-minute thing and mention that in the form, and we'll jump straight to the 60-minute call and skip the 10-minute call. All right. So just put it in, take up one of the spots. That's cool, and that way you won't have to email me, and we'll do back and forth because I don't do back and forth. Just fill out the form. That'll give me the information that I need anyway, and we can do your session. So we'll be good to go. Thanks for bringing that up. Don't know how that happened. Awesome, cool. So I think we are good to go. Give you guys one more shout out. leapmembers.com/session. Could change your life, right? Absolutely changed my life when I got off my backside and took some action. All you need to do, talk to me for 10 minutes. There is no sales pitch. We just talk about your business and what you want to do. If I can help you, we talk about how on a totally different call. Yeah. If I can't help you, I'll point you in the right direction. You can't lose. There's no sneaky sales tactics or anything like that. We just have a relaxed chat, and it's good to go. All right, lovely people. It's been fantastic hanging out with you here for the last 2 hours. I am going to wrap it up now and go and have a glass of wine with my wife, and I will talk to a bunch of you. Welcome everyone who's snapped up a 10-minute session. I really look forward to talking to you. That's the end of the webinar. I'm going to close it up right now, so it will shut down on your screen there. I wish you the best of luck in making the leap to 6 figures in your spare time, whether you choose to talk to me or not. That's it for me. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will talk to you all